This is Pastor Jimmy with a weekly thought. As you walk with the Lord, have you ever noticed that sometimes the most awkward, even the craziest moments become some of the most awesome moments in your life? Think, if you will, about Moses, the burning bush. He goes to see what made it not be consumed. He found out it was God. And in that moment, he found out some things about the Lord he had never thought about. Many years later, just before he died, he said, as he blessed the tribe of Joseph in Deuteronomy chapter 33, and I believe verse 16, he said, "May the favor of him who is in the bush," the favor of him who was in the bush. Now, you and I would think about the burning bush, God's voice, all kinds of things. But Moses came away thinking of the favor of God. Those crazy moments, those awkward moments, those moments you haven't known before can become some of the most awesome that you can ever experience. Think about the priests as they came to the River Jordan. Moses had died. Joshua had just taken over the leadership. And God told them, take the ark on your shoulders and go to the river and step into the water. Now, when Moses was at the Red Sea with the children of Israel, he held out his rod. But God told them at this point, don't worry about a rod, so to speak. Step into the water. When they did, all of a sudden the waters, the Bible says, began to stand up, and that none came to the Jordan River and nothing else flowed down to the Dead Sea until the children of Israel had crossed over the Jordan. A crazy moment that becomes an awesome moment. Can't you imagine those priests telling their children and grandchildren for the rest of their lives? Then think about Peter as he stepped over the side of the boat to walk on the water. All the people in the boat, "Peter, what are you doing? You can't do that. You're going to drown. The waves are going to get you." All kinds of thoughts. But Peter went. Now we think of Peter and he took his eyes off Jesus and we think about his sinking. But think about Peter for the rest of his life. He thought about walking on the water. None of the other disciples ever did that. A crazy moment. Even a moment that he would say, "Lord, if it's really you, let me come out there." A crazy moment that became one of the most awesome of his life. There was a lady named Lisa going to work one morning. All she could think about was woolly socks. She worked at a dream center. Woolly socks, woolly socks. What's up with these woolly sock things? But before she left, it came again. She picked up woolly socks, put them in her purse, and went to work. On the steps was a woman that morning. And you guessed it. The woman was lonely, thinking about suicide. Took her inside, talked to her, and said, "Honey, is there anything you would really like to have?" And she said, "I'd give anything for a pair of woolly socks." A crazy moment that turns into an awesome moment. And then some of those things that God tells us, they come full circle. They too become awesome moments. Sometimes things like forgive when you've been so badly hurt. And you don't want to forgive. You don't want somebody to get away with something. But when you do forgive, it becomes the greatest freedom you've ever experienced. And you come full circle. You fight with God at first. But when you submit, when you surrender, you find out that what He says meets needs inside of you more deeply than you can imagine. That's what God does with us all the time. That's why Jesus said, "Abide with me." Don't go somewhere else. Stay with me. And I will show you things you've never thought about. He said, "I give you my Spirit who will lead you into all truth." He will bring things to your mind. He will show you things you know nothing about. Crazy moments that suddenly become the most awesome in our walk with God. It's a wonderful thought. It happens often. Think about it. Blessings.